take you through my setup for 2019. I'm not going to show you all my collections that I'm going to add in this video. They'll be going in the back of the book, and I'll have a separate video for all my collections. I have chosen the Lemome notebook A5 dot grid for my 2019 planner, pretty much because I just love it. I love it. It's my favourite out of all of the ones that I've tried. This one sort of won me over just because the pages are slightly thicker, so I don't need to worry about ghosting. And I really liked the feel of this book, to be honest. It just feels nice. My cat, my little kitten, she's destroyed it already. So I'm going to have to do something about the bookmark. So let's get started.
So the first pages I'm setting up are my index pages. Most people include an index page in their bullet journals to make it easier when they want to find something. However, I've noticed that a lot of people make them and then never end up using them. And this is definitely something that happened to me last year. I kind of just knew the order of things, so I didn't struggle to find stuff. So it's definitely not something you have to have. So if you don't think you'll need one, there's no harm skipping this step, because there are other ways to mark important pages, like using a tab or lining the edge of the page with washi tape. I've personally opted to try using an index page again, mostly because in the back of this planner I've got a ton of collections and I want to be able to find which one I'm looking for easily. It also means that if an event or something significant happens during the month that I might want to highlight or revisit, I can log it in here and find it more easily. But for the most part, I'll just be using it for the purpose of my collections. Through 2018, any collections I had, I just sort of added wherever I was in the year, so they all ended up scattered throughout the books, and it bothered me that I had to keep flipping through all the pages, and it just didn't feel very organised, so I decided to put them all in the back. I've not sectioned off an estimated amount of pages that I think I might need and started the collection sort of halfway through the book, because I know lots of people have sort of bumped into those pages when they've been progressing through the months, or they found they've given themselves too many or too little pages for their collections. So I've literally started my collections on the last page and worked my way backwards. I've heard of people turning their book upside down when starting things from the back pages, which I really like the idea of because I felt it would separate the monthly logs from the collections even more. But I felt having to flip the book every time I wanted to search for something would just get really annoying, so I didn't bother doing that. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've made a separate video for setting up my collection pages because there's quite a lot of them, and I've got several spreads in there that I've never seen people use before and that I'd wish I'd had in 2018 because they'll be super useful. So if you're looking for some inspiration, hopefully you'll find that video really helpful. The link for that video is in the description below. So on these pages, I've got a quote and my year at a glance. The quote I chose for this year is "satisfied and eager for more." I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks material, which is all about the law of attraction and manifestation and gratitude, how to be happy and just living the life of your dreams. Abraham says that one of the best states to be in from a manifestational standpoint is satisfied and eager for more. And honestly, even if you take the manifestation side out of it, I think this is such a healthy and beneficial mindset to be in. So I'm going to try my best to achieve this as often as I can this year. On the right is my yearly overview, which is kind of like a future log, but you can see the whole year on one page. I loved having this page last year for a few reasons. Firstly, because I just find it really aesthetically pleasing. Secondly, because I like to look back on it through the months and see how much of the year I have left. And thirdly, because I found it so helpful with my son's school times. Every school year, I forget what days the holidays start on and what days he goes back, whether the holiday lasts a week, 2 weeks, or if it's just a training day or whatever. And so it used to really stress me out. Now I use this spread to highlight the days where he's off school and I can see it all in advance. There's lots of other things you could use it for. You could use it for exams, days you work. If you co-parent, you could mark the days you have your kids, vacations, medical treatments, anything you like really. I couldn't fill mine in today because I didn't have any internet access so that I could find the school term times, but this is how last year's looked. I've only got from May in this one because that's when I started this journal, but you can see here I've highlighted the days that he doesn't have any school time. Ta-da! So here we're onto my future log, and the sort of theme for this page was heavily inspired by the YouTuber My Life in a Bullet. She's one of my favourite bullet journalers, and she's actually the person who first inspired me to create my own bullet journal. I love her style and thinking process, and she's got such a soothing voice, so her videos are lovely to watch. If you haven't checked her out yet, you really should. I've done the layout of this spread differently to last year. For 2018, I had this across 2 double pages and had a large amount of space for each month of the year, but this really didn't work for me for 2 reasons. The first one being that I didn't have a huge amount of things that I needed to log in advance, so there was a lot of wasted space. And secondly, I did not fit a whole year into one planner. So I had to draw this future log out again and again. So this year, I've given myself a decent amount of space for the first 6 months, and then smaller boxes beneath for the next 6 months. I don't think I'll actually fit 6 months into this planner, because before setting all this up, I used the back of my current journal to plan out what spreads and layouts I want to use every month. So this has given me a rough idea of how many pages I'll need per month. If you look at the top of this journal, you'll see the little blue tabs. They're removable, so they're not set in stone, but the first 4 tabs are where I've estimated a new month will start, and the last one is where my collection pages currently finish, bearing in mind I'm working backwards. If I keep the monthly setup that I'm currently using, which I'm pretty sure I will because I feel like I've hit my bullet journal sweet spot when it comes to finding a layout that's easy to keep up with but still has all the things that I want to log or include each month, then I know I can comfortably fit 4 months in this planner. You never know, things might change, but for now, 6 months to plan ahead feels like plenty in this journal. The next spread I'm working on is my period tracker. I've used pretty much the exact same layout as I did last year because it works so well for me. I first started using this because my periods were so irregular, so I was trying different kinds of contraceptive pills. Obviously, you could track this in a monthly log, but I found having it all in one place for the whole year gave me a much clearer and easier to understand view of what was going on. I've also seen this spread used for tracking mood and even sex life and that sort of thing, so there are lots of other ways to use it. If you're someone who's trying for a baby, this could be particularly helpful because you can track when you're at your most fertile, when you get jiggy with it, you know what I mean. So this spread is really customizable. I actually drew a square for each day. It's not necessary, but I really like the way it looks. If you want to do it that way, bear in mind that it takes ages. I added a little uterus as decoration that says at your cervix because I just thought it was really cute. And then I've got a key for heavy, normal, light and spotting. And I shade the square with black or grey depending on if I'm on a pill break or if I've missed a pill. I also have a space for notes to write in anything that may affect my period, such as a change in contraceptive pill or weight changes. You can see here how the 2018 spread turned out, and hopefully you can see what I mean when I say it gives you a really easy way to view what's going on. The next spread is my medication tracker. With having fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue, I've been on lots of different kinds of medication. I'm not currently taking anything for my fibro because in the past I've not found them to be very effective, and usually they come with a host of side effects and they're usually not very nice. So it's just not been worth it. But there are other medications I take and ones I may try in the future, so this spread will come in really handy. I may I may also use it for vitamins and supplements or things that I might try like that. And then I'll be able to see if they actually have any effects. So I have a space for the name of the medication, how many milligrams I'm on, the start date, end date, and a space for notes and side effects. Both of these spreads could technically go in the back with my collections, but they're both things that could affect my mood, pain levels, and quality of sleep, which are things I track in my monthly log. So I wanted them to be really easy to find, as I'll probably reference them quite a lot. The last 2 pages are for tracking the top 2 habits/goals I have for 2019. I've chosen doing some sort of exercise every day because I know it's super beneficial to your body and mental health. And I've also chosen learning Polish because I've always wanted to speak another language. And I have lots of family in Poland that I really want to meet one day. And obviously, I'd like to be able to talk to them. I'm not really one for New Year's resolutions because I know that statistically they just don't work. Also, I kind of feel like if you really want to do it, why wait until the start of a new year? So these are things I'm already trying to do every day. I have lots of other goals and things I want to achieve next year, but these are the 2 things that I'm going to really focus on. I've got mini calendars for the next 6 months because, as I say, I won't fit a whole year into this journal. But the idea is that I check off the days that I've completed the goal. I might use a colour code for the amount of effort I put in because I've just learned a new hack for achieving goals where you have a high bar and low bar effort ranking thing so that you stay motivated to do it every day, even if you can't put in 100%. And I think that will stop me from just completely giving up if I have a bit of a wobble. I might talk more about that in another video if that's something you're interested in. I also have a big space at the bottom to write why I want to achieve these goals. I don't think there's any point trying to build a new habit if you haven't outlined in detail exactly why you're doing it. It really helps to have a solid vision of what the future will look like if you make these changes, because it's what will keep you going on days where you want to give up. So that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you got some inspiration. Like I say, I'll link the second part of my 2019 setup with all my collections down below, and I'll leave a link to my social media and the stationery I've used down in the description. I wish you all a very, very, very happy new year.